Hello, my name is Marcus. I'm the compiler of a collection of therapy quotes entitled 1001 Windmills of the Mind, a collection of advanced self-help quotes taken from what's often called the psychodynamic or the psychoanalytic perspective, which long ago, as I understand, surged by some, or perhaps many, as philosophical medicine into narrative medicine. All part of the innate drive for healing. It's built in with us, with nature, with the great spirit, that if something's wounded, it's trying to heal. With humans, consciousness and knowing ourselves, self-awareness, self-understanding, self-empathy, self-recognition, this observing ourselves idea, this is the intermediary kind of flinting or mechanism to allow healing to take place. Consciousness like a basket to hold, then the egg, the new feelings come back. So in trauma, we're wounded and our feeling self is suspended, undeveloped, frozen, encapsulated, closeted in, one person called it, or encapsulated in, or numb, frozen, or like Snow White as a personification, a symbol, Snow White. Like in fairy tales, you'd have a princess, meaning an image of our feeling self, the feminine, the beingness, the embodiment, the ensoulment that created princess in the fairy tale. But look at the condition. She's in a coma in a glass box. Rapunzel locked in a tower. This cord opens up, she gets yanked down. And going on with her. Sometimes the princess morphs, because in the primary mentation, it's kind of magical, and things can morph and shape-shift and twist. So the princess, it's dangerous with the mother. So the soul flew away. The princess morphed into a swan and flew away, I know not whither, morphs into a fox and runs away like that. There's so many forms it can take. So we're born with a budding beauty. It's meant to be a part of us, meant to blossom with us in the soil of the relationship with the mother. Okay, in the safety of the attunement, the entrainment, mother's reverie, mother's consideration, mother's holding, containing, recognizing, seeing, accepting, allowing. Baby feels safe in this interaction. Rhythm of bliss, rhythm of safety, a social interpersonal womb for the first 4 to 5 months. The child's feelings can stay in its feeling alive place. So his soul is still there, called ensoulment, embodiment. And he expects that to happen. Mother betrays him. Okay, so the feeling kind of goes flat. So they call it flat affect or dysfunctional feeling system. The metaphors in the fairy tale, the pin goes in the collar, under the collar, the emotional body goes flat. In ancient Greece, they called this athymolexia, no feelings for your words. Nowadays, people say alexithymia, no words for your feelings. So affect phobia, or you're feeling the same kind of thing over and over again. The way you relate, the way you feel, it's the same old stuff again and again. So you don't have the wide variety of feelings, needed feelings, appropriate feelings. Joy's not there, maybe. Inability to mourn, so sadness can't be there. So that's the affect phobia idea. So we live to the extent that we feel. The recent quote was, the quality of our feelings, meaning the aliveness of our feelings, the wide range of feelings, needed feelings, appropriate feelings, the golden ball, that quality of our feelings determines the quality of our life. We live to the extent that we feel like this. This is our soul like that. But that gets frozen, right? Stunned, suspended, it's never gone, it's just exile, going on with our kind of idea. So in Lu, everything goes flat. The one image is the frozen woolly mammoth to the block of ice, kind of flat, suspended. So everything's on hold like that. Held to development, stunned development, stunted development, rest of it in this feeling kind of place. So that means it was very dangerous to the mother. She misattuned, malattuned, she wasn't emotionally present, emotionally absent, she was preoccupied on her end, she had a chip on her. The mother may have identified with the aggressor on her end, and she's going to treat the child the way she had been treated. But that's her way to have a mother, hoping to be loyal to the mother, hoping to have the tie to the mother, because she needs a mother. So she's got to be dysfunctional to keep the tie. The dysfunctionist imitator and project her soul onto her own child and do onto her own child what had been done to her, because she became the aggressor and she's got shamed herself. Too painful, always shame herself. So she has a baby so she can shame to disperse the tension. So ironically, she's shaming her own child to feel less pain herself. Then at the same time, on another level, the mother will possibly hate the baby because her anger at the mother, which is a cry for love turned to hate, hates the baby, meaning she hates the mother, but displaces. So she shames and hates her own baby. What the hell, right? What the hell? So the poor baby, he's just very distressed by this. First things first, frees up the soul. He's got to protect it. Now we realize mother's dangerous. Now the baby's supposed to record a loving mother memory in his mind called the holding interject, the soothing interject, the internalized good object. Just memories of mother loving him kind of thing. That's missing, like a hole there. Now, in the hole, what fills in? The baby's rage at her. That rage is a cry for love, an SOS for love. That rage became destructive fantasies. Mother still gaslit the baby, still ignored the SOS signals, still ignored it. And then, but that's the baby's cry for love. His devouring fantasy, rage to control it, devour the breast, cannibalistic, and rage, fantasy, oral greed, aura. The mother said, you can't be angry, whatever. But that's his hope for mother. That's his link to the mind. He's got all life forces, object seeking, attachment striving, love, hunger, love, attachment, hunger. He's trying to connect. And the way to connect is through the rage. Mother blocks it. To maintain his mandate to live and to look for mother, but turn to rage, but a block, like the river hitting the bank, it rebounds into himself. So now his own rage is going to fill in that space where mother's voice should have been there. Now, instead of a loving voice saying, I see you, I'm here for you, I love you, everything's okay, everything will be all right, don't worry, everything will be okay, I'm here with you, you're safe. Instead of a loving voice in his mind, he's got his own anger, which is at the mother, attacking the mother. Come on, mother. And then when it becomes judgmental and critical, it's still anger. It's still anger because now the mother's stingified and objectified. Come on, all the swear words coming, right? So now this rage is blocked, attacking himself. Now the imagery and the primary mentation, yesterday's topic, it's primary, okay, the memories are fantasies, the experiences, you have memories, the memories in the unconscious become unconscious fantasies. In this fantasy dream world, they got a monster. Monsters of the id monster. So in his mind, he's got an inner persecutor, inner critic. Okay, take your pick, Medea, Medusa, guy with the horns, cyclopses, and wicked queens and wicked witches. Anything that's a rage, criticizing you, and it has an oralistic, the baby's in the oral phase is rage, so the image is oral and rage, so it's a cannibalistic monster. So he's got a monster in the mind. It's not real. It's the sizzling up of the baby's rage. It's a cry for love, turning to that block rebound in him. It's going on himself. What a painful dilemma. So he's got to hate himself in order to cry for mother's love, to have a hope or tie or possibility that maybe one day mother will love him. He's got to hate himself. So he always feels pain called unconscious guilt. He feels shame because mother, maybe now you get this existential belief that he's unwanted, unlovable, no good, no worthy. Now he's attacking himself unnecessarily, but the attack on himself is the cry for love to the mother. Once again, rebounded back in, rebounding aggression. But again, aggression is the cry for love. Everything's love or cry for love. Baby's crying for love. And when the cry for love wasn't met, it became fearful, and then all the fear built up. Then the final pathway was the anger, fear, rage, the block rebounded in. So now he's in this dilemma where to have some tie to the mother, some link to the mother, some sense that he's not alone, he'll kind of do it to himself in effect. Well, he'll motherize himself and blame himself. Mother, me, come on, love me, me. Like he's attacking himself as if he's attacking the mother, but the attack is the cry for love. But he can't be his own mother, he can't do that. So this is a very perverse, disturbed situation, and a lot of pain like this. Yet now how is he going to deal with the pain? Enter Edmund Burger's theory, where the baby does a little trick in his mind. Okay? First of all, because there's no memory of love and safety with the mother, the oxytocin, the bonding, the love hormone goes too low. The set point is way down. And the serotonin for safety, love, and pleasure, way down. Okay? So enter the hope of dopamine. So now dopamine says, okay, if we're in pain, reach your mother. Dopamine is to fuel you, to motivate you, to excite you to go for mother because you're in pain. So dopamine kicks up. Now you got a dopaminergic brain, dopaminergic mind. Professor Previck calls it. It's the molecule of more, future, chase, anticipation, excitement. So you're flooded with this motivating chemical because you're in pain. It produces an excessive amount, like an excessive amount. Now you're in maniacal mode. Now you're chasing for mother. But hold the phone here. Where's mother? What are you talking about? Past the critical nursing time, how do you look for mother? When the wiring is set in and you're repeating your cry for love, how do you cry for love? Not knowing mother hurt you and you're looking for her. You're not aware that you're a love fugitive from the love that you seek. You don't remember that you're running away from your mother and you're searching for her. While you're running away from her, you're searching for her, and you don't know this. So what are you searching for? Well, the unconscious says we've got to search. Oh my God! So the maneuver is associations. Well, look for symbols of her, dreams of her, imaginations of her, cookies, cigarettes, wine, stimulating food, money, material things you buy, stuff, whatever, something that can, in your imagination, maybe you can trick yourself or believe, maybe it could be it. But no symbol of mother, no dream of mother is real mother. But you got to search for mother because you can only search for a symbol. So that's the idea of dopamine, makes you chase for the symbol. Now, when you chase for the symbol, mainly what you're doing is you're going to trigger the time when you did have mother. If you think the symbol is mother, you're going to trigger when you had mother. When you trigger when you had mother. Oh, here's our little friend here. Oh, yesterday we saw this little bird here. Hang on. I think they're a kind of dove. I forgot the name of it. They're a kind of dove, a branch of the dove. He's got a blue beak, blue feet. On the surface, the feathers are gray and all that, but when he flies, from the underneath, it's all black and white. Interesting bird. I once knew the name of this dove, but I'll have to look it up later. Just a little baby, eh? Hopefully I'm getting him in the camera. Oh yeah, you can see the feathers. You see the feathers underneath? It's black and white. Interesting bird. Okay, so dopamine is the hope to look for mother, but you're gonna look for symbol of mother. So when you think you found mother via the symbol of a mother, you tricked yourself, there's mother. Oh, you got mother. And what happens is, all you're really doing is, since it isn't mother, but you believed it's mother, if you believed it's mother, what happens is you trigger, bing, 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 bing. They play April Wine's song, Ooh, What a Night, the opening sound, bing, bing. It's gonna trigger, like Pavlovian dog, bing, bing, it's gonna trigger when the oneness that you did once upon a time did experience with your mother. The blissful oneness you did experience when you did have mother in a loving way, even if it was just in the uterus time, called womb utopia. So if you can trigger the oneness, this oneness is also known as delirious euphoria, unio mystica, participation mystique, like a mystical experience, like a blissful mystical experience. As you're happy, you're floating, wow, you're the universe, you're ecstatic, oceanic ecstasy, one guy called it. If you can trigger those good old days, okay, the chemistry will blip up for you. You'll relive it, so to speak. So the chemistry associated with the memories are going to come, just like with nostalgia, right? You think about something happy in your childhood, you might feel better. It's a similar idea. A child pretends he's Superman, he feels important, he gets status, of safety, gets serotonin. So when the little kid runs around with a Superman uniform, he feels fantasies important. And if he's important, he's safe. If he feels safe, he gets serotonin. So fantasies can give you chemistry. So you look for a similar mother to give you the fantasy of when you had the mother, and then those fantasies will give you the chemistry. Now you're addicted. The thing you're chasing for is called an ATM, an addictive trigger mechanism. It's addictive because you're dependent on triggering the happy chemicals of oxytocin and serotonin, okay, to blip up over the pain that you're feeling. Now the pain that's driving this, okay, you now revert to that to deal with the pain. Burglar theorizes that the pain and the pain and the pleasure fuse in, called the revitalization or the pleasurization of the pain. Now you're dependent, or quote-unquote addicted, or dependent on this mechanism to be a dopamaniac, maniacally searching. So greed, go, mania, go, dopamania they call it. You got to on the move. You can't enjoy, can't rest, can't love. Got to go, right? So into the Twilight Zone episode of late, I think of Clifford here. It's a classic example. Go. He, at the end of life, he owned everything. Bored, Snoozeville, couldn't love, couldn't trust, couldn't see one tree, seen them all. You buy one castle, they're all the same. Like he couldn't enjoy anything. Beautiful girls, snacks. Nothing. There's no pleasure because there's no oxytocin and serotonin in his system because he never addressed the trauma. He was dependent on the chase mode as a pain management of the pain of not having been loved. So when he got to the end of life, he owned everything. He had ennui. He panicked. No more to chase. He begged the devil lady, played by Julie Newmar. As usual, you'll see me distracted in the public park here. There's a very, how do I describe it? A little distracting. I find it distracting on my side here, but okay. Let's get used to this thing. Hold on a sec. Not distracting in a pleasant way, like distracting in a, another kind of way. All right. Let's go back. So let's go back to Julie Newmar, the actress. I didn't know this, but she played a villain and in one of the Batman shows. She plays like a villain Batgirl or something like that. I just saw a few clips of it. She's hilarious. She's a funny actress. She also plays in the Route 66. One of the best episodes in Route 66, which we cover here, is the one about the albatross. And so she's very witty and intellectual and all that. Says all these psychologically minded things in the Route 66 episode. How much is a pound of albatross, or the cost of an albatross, I forgot. Or look at in our collection. Type in albatross, it should show up here. Anyways, that actress who played in the Route 66 and the evil Catwoman lady in Batman, in the original Batman run, she also played another devilish kind of villainish. Well, yes and no, right? So Mr. Featherhead, this antisocial, bombastic psychopath who didn't care, caused suffering, laughed at people suffering, a sicko, a real empty, soulless goon, thug kind of, you get the type, right? You see it on TV all the time. Anyways, he was in his 70s. He said, I want to chase more. Dear devil lady. Yes, how can I help you, sir? I want you to take me back. I want to make a deal with you. I want to take me back to my youth, but keep my knowledge intact. And I want to, with my advanced insider knowledge, I'll be able to plunder more voraciously, more viciously. I'll have more revenge. I'll have more greed, more chase. And even she, the devil lady, was disgusted with him. Can you believe it? Normally she'd admire him, right? But this guy's even worse, like just to make the point or something. So she said, okay, fine. You'll have your knowledge. I'll zoop you back to your youth, and you can start all over again if you want. Now you won't. Now you'll start with nothing. You get that? Oh, no problem. I got all the knowledge. So I'll make the money easily, no time. Okay, so he goes back to his youth, his hometown. He's 18 years old, whatever. But what he didn't understand about himself was he was an org, like he was an ugly, aggressive, demanding, bully kind of character. Now, when he was originally 18, maybe people knew him, they grew up with him, so he got along with people a little bit or something. They didn't like him, but anyways, he managed to be successful, quote unquote successful. But when you zoom back in time, your 70-year-old belligerent, 7 decades of being a you-know-what, apply it or superimpose it onto an 18-year-old version of you. Okay, so in other words, you're a narcissist, you're an 18-year-old narcissist, but add on it 60 more years of narcissism on top and give it to the teenager. He was a despicable guy. No one liked him. It was sort of in everybody's face. Everybody repelled him. Go away. We don't like you. But we could get rich instantly. We could become billionaires overnight. I got all the insight. I don't care, but go away. Go. So his personality repelled people. And remember, he had no money. He needed a little money to get started, right? So he couldn't get any cooperation. And he knew people. He knew everything. It didn't matter. So he called back the devil. The devil, what's the deal here? Why is this not working? Well, we made the deal. I took it back. That's what you wanted. You have your inside knowledge. That's what you wanted. But it's why is it not working? Well, you said nothing about your ugly personality. You still have it. Oh my God. Well, that's the lesson of the film about narcissism, right? It was more about that. So then he said, okay, I can't take this anymore. Please take me back to my regular time. Well, if I do that, it'll be based on your life of who you are here. Whatever. He didn't care anymore. So he went back based on him being rejected as a teenager or something. And it turned out he spent his life as a sanitation worker or something like that, and with no love or family or something like that. So he got by, he survived. But what a difference, right? Sorry, okay, I'm getting off topic here. The point of the film was Mr. Featherhead, whatever his name was, couldn't love and he couldn't enjoy. He had to chase dopamine. And then at the end of life, you think he enjoys retirement or something. No, he couldn't. He had to chase. Nothing more to chase because he owned everything, right? Nothing more to chase. So that's why he was shivering. He was having withdrawal symptoms. He had the shakes. He was panicking. He was turning pale, shaking like an addict couldn't get his fix. He was shaking. I'm exaggerating. Go to the Kim Mitchell album called Oral Fixations. All the characters had the shakes. They were addicted. So when we talk about oral fixations, we refer to the musician Kim Mitchell has an album called Oral Fixation, where the image represents the follow-up to a prior album cover by the pop diva Shakira. So start off with Shakira on weaning trauma. So one form of relational trauma, attachment trauma, is weaning trauma. It used to be called weaning trauma. So they showed you weaning trauma. So the traditional idea is if the fruit, we know this, if the fruit is unripe and you pluck it, it's going to be bitter. If you remove the baby from the nursing, he'll be bitter. Same idea. So sometimes the tree would symbolize the mother. So they would juxtapose, they put a baby on the tree, and the mother ripped the apple away, yanked it away from the baby, and said, hell yeah, that's what happened to me. She had this Italianic revenge on her own baby. Hell yeah, I'm not going to feed my baby. I wasn't fed, now I got the active. I'm going to master the trauma on me. I'm going to be active and deprive my baby. Because that's what happened to me. Hell yeah. So the baby's suffering. Mother, don't do this to me. So no one's around because of the heat, except for that thing there, for that scene over there, I should say. You know, if you ever see something that you feel a little uncomfortable or something, you gotta have empathy that the person who's behaving in a certain way, their unconscious believes that if the person didn't adopt the unconscious perspective, that something worse would happen. So if somebody's doing something you don't like, they believe they must do it. While the unconscious part of them, which is the puppet master, then believes that if they don't do it, they don't make the person do it, something worse would happen. But you're coming from an original template from built-in nursery time. The present is not the past, but the past is the puppet master with the pain of unresolved, and you're living by this imprint. And imprint is blueprint or map, so you're going by childhood map. Doesn't make sense. It's irrational, it's quote-unquote determinism, irrationality, and oblique, the three you're going to mention here today, actually. We'll get back to the Shakira album. So commonly in myths and fairy tales, the apple or the red fruit like a cherry is the nipple, the stand-in or symbol for the nipple. So she would yank away the nipple. Okay, it's a public, they're not going to show it to you like that. They're going to show you in symbolic form. So she yanked away the apple. Okay, so in the myth of Tantalus, okay, the guy is stuck, and he's starving. He sees the apple on the tree. He tries to reach up for the apple, but the wind blows the branch, pulled away. Same idea, weaning trauma. Tantalized, rejected. Tantalized, rejected. Sisyphus, repetition, compulsion, no time, need, repeat, pain, repeat. Okay, treadmill, hamster wheel. He's doing it again and again. You can do it infinitely, forever. So that's why the myths that these things live forever, meaning it's no time in there. No time means immortality. These characters living forever is code for the imagery, the memories that took place of the experiences of the trauma in a part of the brain that does not know time, timelessness. Ideas of immortality reflect how there's no time in the unconscious, timeless unconscious, and so on. So this image goes on forever like that. Right? Okay, you feel shame, backdrop is hell. Okay, hell is a metaphor for the emotion of shame, a burning, biting feeling. So here you got this guy feeling shame, the fiery, okay, and he's reached, starving, and rejected, need, reject, shame, he's suffering, and it's forever. It's a scary image. It just stands for how any baby, it represents the person as it represents the baby's experience of weaning trauma. He reached for mother rejected him, he feels shame, and that's all it is, right? So back to the Shakira album. You saw the mother, the woman in the middle, holding the apple away from the baby, saying, hell yeah, that's what happened to me. Now I'm gonna do it. I'm not the passive victim to my mother. I'm gonna be the aggressor to my child. Hell yeah, I'm gonna win this time. So she thinks by being active instead of passive, and repeating what happened to her, she's gonna be cured. Are you kidding? Hurting your own baby means you're gonna be cured from your trauma back in the nursery. So the mother's deluded, right? But she's got the talionic impulse, the talionic revenge, the talionic feeling where she's gonna do instead of be the victim. But the part of the brain doesn't know time, so her own baby will be her and she'll be the mother. Hell yeah, I did it this time. Instead of being a passive victim, she made the baby the victim of her. And then she hates the baby. Poor baby saying, what are you doing to me here? So you see the baby on the tree, arms stretched out. Please, mother, don't give me weaning trauma. If you had a follow-up, the baby would be screaming and colicky and desperate and flailing about and spitting and desperate and suffering and SOS. And the mother said, no, that's what happened to me, I don't care. So she gets revenge like this and she feels some kind of pride or something. So intergenerational trauma, she's oblivious to the feelings of the baby. She's oblivious, she's cold inside because she never got mother's love to feel, so she can't feel or care about the baby situations. All she feels is hell yeah, right? She's going to remove, she's also going to remove the memory of the pain she felt if she inflicts the pain on her own baby. So she'll externalize and see displaced onto the baby the pain that she's feeling, she doesn't feel it with them. Hell yeah. So she feels a little dispersed of the tension, and that's her pride, like humorous pride called Schadenfreude. She takes pleasure in doing this. Okay, so she's oblivious, she's soul blind to the baby because her mother had been soul blind to her, and so she's indifferent to the baby like that. That's considered callous and cold and psychopathic or something. So that's why the baby's pleading, mother, don't do this. Mother said, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm still in the past. No, you're not in the past, you're in the present. No, I'm in the past. My puppet master told me I'm in the past, and my puppet master is pretty painful, and it drives the show here. My conscious mind is helpless. My head is, what's the ostrich? My head is in a sign. Oh, today's cool. Willful denial. What's it called again? Yeah, I've got a quote coming up today about deliberate denial or something. Deliberate, I don't want to know, so ostrich, head in the sand. The puppet master's running. I don't want to know. Mother, you got to know. Please take your head out of the sand. Please look. No, I can't look. There's too much painful. I can't know. It's such a harmful thing here. I don't want to know this. It's just the unconscious is driving me. I can't see that I'm hurting you. My head's in the sand. Willful. What's that called again? Willful. Hang on. What's that phrase? I just found it this morning. I'm not a lawyer. Okay. Another disclaimer. Oh my God. Of all my disclaimers, I have to add another one. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a shrink, forensic psychiatrist, criminologist, doula, nutritionist, shrink, counselor, therapist. I'm none of these things. I only have a BA. But yesterday and now today, we're going to post a quote from a lawyer lady. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this. I just realized it here. Where is it here? It's called, the phrase I'm looking for is called, what's it called again? Oh, brother. Son of a gun. Do I have it here? Do I even have it here? Oh, willful blindness. Oh, there it is. Willful blindness. Willful blindness. So the mother is going to be willfully, deliberately, she wants to not know. She willfully blind. Something's bad here happening. Me hurting the baby. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to believe. I can't see it. Deny, deny, deny. Ostrich, head in the sand. Willful blindness. She deliberately wanted to make herself blind to it. Mother, please don't do this. Please take your head out of the sand. You're not an ostrich, mother. You know, come to think of it, I'd rather. Just kidding. Okay. Some in the mammal world, you know, there's some animals are more maternal than humans, you know. So it doesn't apply, of course. But okay, hang on here. So back to the Shakira. Is it okay like this with the music? Can you hear it okay? I'm playing Nanook, a musician who goes by the name of Nanook. One of his songs called this, however that's pronounced. However you pronounce this, that's the name of the song you're hearing. Nunar Put Kusanak by the singer Nanook. He's a beloved indigenous singer up there somewhere. So the image shows the baby not getting mother, weaning trauma. Now he's frozen. So the baby in the Shakira album is going to be frozen, and he's suspended there, waiting to get it fulfilled. When real needs are not met, you're kind of stuck there waiting for it to be filled because you cannot progress and develop without the completion of your needs. Unresolved, unfinished business. So there's a suspension there. Okay, this is going to lead to one of the oral fixation, oral phase up until 18 months, oral fixation. So that baby is going to end up with the oral fixation due to weaning trauma seen by the woman yanking the nipple away prematurely. Yeah, again, you can do it two ways. You can do it the tree, and just as the fruit is unripe prematurely, it's going to be bitter. The baby will be bitter, narcissistic bitter. Narcissism are bitter, sarcastic people. They'll be bitter like that. Or you can just directly think of the tree as the mother, and look what happens. The fruit's not there. The mother pulled it away. So you got the tree, symbol mother and real mother. They got two mothers there, right? And no love, right? So the baby ends up with the oral fixation. Now go to the Kim Mitchell music album called Oral Fixation. It's spelled with a U, but it's talking about without the U. It's a little play on the words. So anyways, you see the front image. Okay, the bountiful teats, the mammaries, the long-hanging milky mammaries occupy the center stage of the album cover. Okay. Now, you have these characters that are underneath it who didn't get nursed and all that. Not just milk, but the overall experience, holding, soothing, sweetness, tenderness, softness, reverie, interaction. The sweet interaction with the mother, tender, soft interaction, the blissful interaction. It's not just milk, it's the whole warm gestalt of mother's love, mother's life force, the presence, the two is one experience, the cocoon, like the two is one, being together in a rhythm of safety, rhythm of bliss, just the whole idea. It's not just about milk. So the characters in that album, okay, they showed them to you in adult form underneath the mammaries. Meaning they didn't get it. When they were babies, they didn't get mother's love. So here they are, posted underneath the mammaries, because when the baby's nursing, he's kind of under the mother, right? When the mother's holding the baby's under, and the baby looks up, and the breast is there, right? So these characters are kind of like under, looking up. Now, they didn't get it, so what they're searching for is symbolic of her. The real thing was missing, so they showed you symbols of mother. So one guy was eating the junk burgers, wolfing down these gulping burgers, you know, voracious junk food burgers, right? Okay, the lady was the boozer, guzzling, the smoker, the nail biting. Okay, they had all these characters doing oral fixation items. Okay, now all of them were pale and shaking. They had withdrawal symptoms, meaning they were addicted. It was an addiction. So they were dependent on the symbol of mother, because the real mother wasn't there, and the real mother, it's kind of like, yeah, there it is, you didn't get her, ha. Like Shakira pulled away the nipple, didn't get her, ha. So they never got it. Tantalized. Okay, they were tantalized. The bountiful teeth never got it. So hence the idea of tantalized. Mother's alluring, enticing, tantalizing never happened. Okay, enticing, rejecting. In the mind, by the way, you got an enticing mother, rejecting mother. Siren and rejecting one. It's kind of Fairbairn's theory about the split of the rejecting mother into two. And the self, and tantalized self and the shame self, two parts like that in the internal theater. So you got memories based on certain clusters of experiences and events. Part self-representation, part other representations, a little theater going on like that. Okay, and then of course the promiscuity is going to be there. Okay, then you got it's an all or nothing mentality. If I don't get it, I feel I'm not going to make it or something. Everything or nothing kind of thing. So you got to cope in that sense. They're dependent on it, hence the addiction quality of it all. Now, since they're still in the oral phase, all the attitudes of the oral attitudes will be there in their philosophy thinking. My greed to your greed. In the plunder system, for example, the slogan is, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Can you believe it? It's oral, right? Eat or be eaten. It's a jungle mentality. Eat or be eaten. It's trauma so primitive early in the brainstem, where the feelings can't be in the body. Remember, the body's frozen, and all the energy's in the limbic system, the survival system, the amygdala, the brainstem, the tip of the spine, called the salamander brain, or the alligator brain, or the dinosaur brain. Take your pick. I've been calling it the iguana brain. Some people call it the chameleon brain, frog brain, shark brain. I don't know. Any kind of animal that's cold, that's just that only has the reflex to survive. That's about it, right? Survive and reproduce. That's all. It's not a mammal, right? So the iguana brain, it's not a mammal, right? Then you got the mammal, but the human mammal, it's frozen. So our energy is co-opted. Our energy is in the circuits in the survival brain mind consciousness. So you're thinking in terms of survival. So when people outwardly then it co-opts your cortex to create language that reflects the survival mentality, and that meanwhile the soul is frozen and you're still operating in the past, living in the past, no time. So repeat, pain, repeat, oral fixation, chase for a symbol doesn't work. Talionic, treat others the way you were treated, doesn't work. Negative magic gestures doesn't work. Symbolic acting out, all these things, being dysfunctional, you're tied there. It can be masochistic because your self-defeating maintains the tie. The tie is needed. That one day you'll get mother's love. So enter somebody's slogan: give thee all hope for better childhood past. But you gotta consent and come back to conscious. If you're aware of it, then you can do so. You gotta be aware of it. Enter Gabe's story. The guy had a self-defeating behavior. Hell with this. Okay. Enter the twilight zone. Next stop, beyond sight and sound. Open the door. Okay. In New York, there's a bronze statue of Rod Serling, put up about a year and a half ago, right? Yeah, a year and a half ago, they finally put up a statue to Rod Serling in his hometown, him in the door. So beyond the door, another world, okay, like a rabbit hole or something, unconscious. So in the gate, so twilight zone means unconscious. Open the door, unconscious means twilight zone. Twilight zone means unconscious, other world, primary orientation. Okay, so in the Gabe story, in the Twilight Zone episode of Gabe story, Mr. Gabe there did that. He said, hell with this, what's going on here? Enter the Twilight Zone. So he saw this magical kind of fantastical place, and he saw somebody writing daily versions of his dysfunction. Hey, you young lady, Roxanne, her name was Roxanne, stop writing these daily defeats for myself. I can't help it. I just write daily versions of your imprint. Well, how do I get out of this imprint thing? So she called her manager. Manager, I want out of this imprint. If you're gonna get out of this imprint, that means you'll be making your own mistakes. And you won't have the hope that you'll get mother's love. Fine, I'll give up hope that I'll get mother's love. I'll make my mistakes, I'll find myself, trial and error. Give me the pen. I want the pen. It'll be my life, my mistakes. I'll learn, I'll give up hope for a better childhood past. I'll give up this bittersweet nonsense that if I'm dysfunctional, that I'm loyal to my mother, and if I'm loyal, then that means I have a hope to save her, cure her, and if I cure her and heal her, then she'll love me, and I'll resume development, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. I'll give up this nonsense. Grab the pen. So, another guy, famous guy long ago said, if you're dysfunctional in life, we may say that your traumatic script is doing this to you. But in midlife, see what you can do. See what you can do with this script. See if you can grab the pen and write your own trial and error. And when you do so, that's the rebirth motif, born again motif, virgin birth motif. Now you're being yourself. And you're learning, you're being yourself. It feels good to trial and error. It's okay, you're being yourself, you're in touch with yourself, you're curious, you know about yourself. In the repression compulsion, you're not learning, you're just blindly repeating. Hamster wheel, Klieglos, you're not doing them. Like the Tantalus guy, doing it again and again. Sisyphus, doing it again, doesn't learn. When you identify you're not learning, then you can learn. When you identify you're not learning and give up hope and stop that, that's the birth of your new life, rebirth idea. Excellent episode called Gabe's Story. I often talk about it. A follow-up is One Life Furnished in Early Emotional Poverty, about the closing narration. That's the time travel one. And related to it is the one more pallbearer idea to make it clear to you, you're not going to get apology for your mother. Give it up. The guy was trying to get an apology. Forget it. Okay, now to go to Robert Ball, Aaron John. You've got to get the key. Your soul is caged, right? Remember in the story? Where's the key? He learns it's under mother's pillow, unconscious, dark, can't see. Mother doesn't even know. The secret is there. You got to get the secret. The mother used you. That's the secret. You got to grab the key. She used me. She failed me. That's the key. You can unlock and get your soul back born again. You get the golden ball. Remember, I want my golden ball. Give me the golden ball. So golden ball is the Frog Prince. The variation was it went down the well. I wanted to get up again. Oh. Am I okay? Is that okay? Okay. Oh. What's that? I know, yeah, security's kind of lately, it's kind of increased lately. Take a Jesus. Okay, let me take a little musical break here. Let's try another song here. Let's take a little. Okay, instead of that. Okay, I'll take a musical break later. Okay, I gotta wait for this distracting thing to pass me by here. Okay, I wish the guard could do something. I'm grateful. I'm in a public park, I get it. Not everything goes the way you would like. It's bound to happen. It's an open public park. It's downtown with Quebec. You're gonna get all kinds of things here. It's a real variety of things here. Okay, let me what's it called? Okay. I'm trying to figure out what that was about. I can't figure it out yet. I don't know, like one of the guards just looking right at me or something. Should I move? Maybe I should just move. Oh, so where can I go here? Okay, this is Saturday. That's right, I forgot. This is Saturday. Things are always a little more animated and busier on Saturdays. Okay, let me see if I can just keep going here. Should be okay. I keep all my awkward moments and bloopers and ums and ahs. I've got anxiety. Once again, with my disclaimer, I have not been analyzed. I have anxiety. I would love to process my traumas and get back my embodiment, feel present and calmer. You'd notice it in my delivery. So focus on the quotes. Click the more link. You'll get the quotes in each video. It's more about that, not about my delivery. So I know it's hard to value the quotes if the presenter is too nervous or something. I have the same situation. So focus on the content. When I started this 6 years ago, nobody was presenting this material. Zilch, not a goose egg. I wanted to learn this. So one way to learn it, somebody said, well, you want to learn something, well, just wing it, teach it, and you'll learn in the process. Now, I'm not a qualified teacher because I've never been analyzed. I never studied psychology. I never went to a therapy school or analytic institute. You have to have a minimum of an MSW to enter into one of those things, plus experience, of course. Usually they want medical doctors to get into those kind of things. If they even exist now, I'm not even sure. Especially with this quote here, my goodness. Coming up. Sometimes I find quotes from supervisors of analytic institutes. Oh my God. They're not, it's fake. They have the label, they bought it or they gave it to themselves, I don't know. But it's not authentic. It's been co-opted or destroyed or something. So it's getting harder and harder to find analytic quotes. A lot of the new stuff coming out is just like AI generated kind of fluffy rehashing, mix-mash. It's very hard to find new. Now I don't have the journals, those expensive journals, so I kind of go by older material. Ironically, the older material is the good stuff, so I'm kind of okay with that. So most of the quotes come from the older stuff, from the 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, Masterson, Grotstein, you know, Karen Horney, some of the older authors, Frenzy, 1920, right? Frenzy, Lowald, you know, these kind of guys, right? Fairbairn, Melanie Klein, Margaret Mahler, you know, and then modern authors are more like object relations theory, like Janoff and Masterson, etc. This quote here I'm going to get to. It's part of the plunder system. I didn't know it when I talked about it yesterday, but this morning I looked at it a little further, and I found another quote which I'll keep. But afterwards I kept reading. Okay, oh my goodness, whoa, now I get it. Some authors will cherry pick clear ideas and use the credibility of analytic ideas, blend it in with an overall campaign to fool you. So they lure you in with some goodies, but it's twisted and convoluted in with some broader agenda to peddle something really bad. I mean, really worse, right? I mean, not bad. I mean, really tricky. Like, for example, I was thinking about, like, for example, she said, if somebody goes to school and let's say some indigenous people attend school, and there's no education about about their history. It's just a propaganda mishmash. Celebrate the people who destroy. You know, indigenous people have to actually admire the people that hurt their families and So they may feel it's not fair kind of thing. So she would co-opt that idea to sell something that's actually harmful in a more broader manner. Okay, I don't want to get into. Okay. Let me back up a sec. Are we finished with Shakira and Kim Mitchell? So Shakira's music album shows you an image of weaning trauma, which leads to some of the oral fixations shown in Kim Mitchell's album. About a year ago, I spent a fair bit of time on it. I won't redo it here. So the oral fixation is also known as symbolic acting out, symbolic mother. So when you chase her symbol, okay, whatever it is, food, money, drink, gambling, promiscuity, and related to it is your cognitive attitudes of either or, all or nothing, okay. Now, since it's still narcissistic, you don't feel, so there's lack of empathy for others, indifference towards others, coldness, and exploitation, the world's symbolic breast owes, world owes me living idea. You got all these disturbed jungle mentalities. That's related to oral fixation. Sarcasm is an oral fixation. Infantile cynicism gratifies this oral fixation. It's addictive, ATM, and these things are called ersatz mothers, fake mothers, symbolic mother. Ullman and Paul referred to it as an ersatz self-object in their excellent book called Narcissus in Wonderland. Excellent book. I'm gonna have to just directly ask the guard, is it okay if I sit here? Because something changed or something. Usually they smile, say hello, it's sort of okay. Oh, maybe he's doing me a favor. Maybe he is watching. There's something on my other side here that's a little. It doesn't really belong in a park with what's going on over it. It's not really like a park-related thing. But the guy might have no choice. I don't know the story. Yeah, why don't I just take a little tea break here and cool off a bit. Although it's hot, luckily I'm doing okay here. The fan is working. I get about 90 minutes on that fan here. Yesterday we played some Rick Emmett. We talked about the classic rock band Triumph yesterday. I found the new, hang on. I found the new radio station called Melodic. Okay, this is live radio. They play little known melodic classic rock from obscure unknown bands that didn't make it or something. So hopefully this won't be copyrighted. It's called melodicrockradio.com. melodic/radio.com. Let's just play this for a minute.
Hi, all you listeners of Rock Melodic Radio. This is Jesse Damon of Silent Rage, and you are listening to Rock Melodic Radio, the absolute best way to rock.
What's this? Oh, because of you. Oh, a band called FM. Oh, it's not, there are many bands called FM. It's not the one who plays Phasers on Stun, which we sometimes play here. Great song by a band called FM. This is a different FM. I'm not too familiar with them. That's it. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's sort of like B-level music right here. Or so all dysfunction, okay, means you're re-feeling, re-relating in the same old way, hoping for a better outcome. Yesterday we had some quotes on repetition compulsion, trying to process, assimilate, get a better outcome. Give the all hope for a better childhood past. Once you admit that you're doing the same thing over and over again, like if you say to yourself, why do I keep doing this? Okay, you're observing ego by building a sense of curiosity. What's going on here? Like wonder. Just have some interest and curiosity. When you notice, oh my God, did I do that again? Why did I say that? Why? This seems to be happening again and again. Maybe I have some. Maybe I'm doing this. Am I creating this somehow? How is it that I'm creating? How did I recreate this? Well, you recreate because you're going to see things you're going to distort things to see it in a way that's analogous to the past, hoping to get a better past. And you're going to distort the present. Yes, you understand the present, but from an emotional emotional place, it's still the past. A little split like that. So first half of life, you're not aware of this. At midlife, it comes to your attention. Usually at midlife. Then you begin the so-called second journey of inner space, right? Everybody talks about outer space. What about inner space, right? Inner space. Okay, so back to psychic masochism. So your anger, crying for love, hitting yourself is painful. The way to deal with the pain is to trigger some happy chemicals of the past, which fuse in, blend in, libidinalize, pleasurize the pain. This pleasurization of the pain, or quote-unquote libidinalization of this pain, making the pain pleasurable, the pleasure in displeasure phenomena, the pleasure in displeasure principle, mechanism, dynamic, whatever it's called psychic masochism. Major crime, we don't want to know this. It's our tie to the mother, it's our hope for the mother. It's painful, but we pleasurize it to keep the tie. We pleasurize it to keep the hope. We pleasurize it and we're stuck there. And hell, we're quote unquote shackled. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Oh my God, I just saw an ad. Does Bob Marley? I'll check it later. I saw an ad. Somebody Marley is going to be performing here. Am I online here? Hang on a sec. Not Ziggy Marley. That's a different one, right? Oh, son of a gun here. Bob Marley's son. Hang on a sec. Bob Marley. Am I online here? Bob Marley. Hang on a sec. Son. What's his son's name again? Skip Marley. Oh, Skip Marley. Skip Marley. Is that it? Oh, I never heard of him. Ziggy Marley. Bob Marley's son on tour. Let's see. Tour 2026. Oh, Julian Marley. Oh, that's what I saw. Okay. Yeah, there's a sign. There's a sign. He's coming. Bob. He's got a lot of sons, eh? Julian Marley. Julian Marley. Is on tour. Now, is Julian Marley the son of Bob Marley? Oh, never mind about that. What about his music? Julian Marley. Maybe we should put... I think he's coming to this city here at some point. Julian Marley. Okay, Julian Marley. Let's just pick a random song here. Let's see. Oh, after the ad, hold on. It's got to be the son. It sounds a lot like him, yeah. Looks a bit like him too, yeah.
Over oceans, just to bring you a song. I travel distances away, giving you one thing that brings change. You're sure to rock when I play.
Magic of love. We want to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, the mental shackles, the traumatic script, our energy being in there. Your cathexis, your attachment is to the first one. And you, it's unresolved there. It's unprocessed. You didn't get your needs met. You can't live with, from the baby's point of view, he wouldn't live without a mother. He wouldn't make it without a mother. It's all of his attachments there. So in life, you look for a symbolic mother, or if a person reminds you of the mother, that's spellbound. Oh, very excited, called falling in love, limerence. Okay, just one look, head over heels. Okay, instant. Whoa, right? That's the great euphoria that you originally felt, called falling in love phenomenon. It's just the Cupid's arrow. It's a sudden thing, like bing, bing, Pavlovian once again. So you're still, and you'll only fall in love with someone who will hurt you the way your mother hurt you. it's a triggering. Somebody's got to remind you the one who hurt you, so you'll only be triggered and excited if they have the same psychology of hurting you the way your mother hurt you. So because it's unresolved and you're waiting and waiting and waiting. Oh, finally, there she is. From an unconscious point of view, there's no time, so you're in a blissful place, all of it. And your childish bliss influences your present. So your present is co-opted by something irrational, right? So that's why the unconscious, like a puppet master. So enter the law topic here. He's got a song called Biology. Julian Marley is the son of reggae legend Bob Marley, born in '75. His mother is from the Barbados, Lucy Huender. Okay, I see. So Bob Marley met a girl named Lucy, and Lucy and Bob had. Okay, I get it. All right. Yeah, let's see, can I get the photo? Yeah, they look a lot, eh? There's father and son. Look at that, eh? Julian Marley speaks on Bob Marley reclaiming something here. Born in '75. So that makes him 75, so that makes him 50, right? Oh, he's 50. He's 51. Bob Marley's son is 51. Oh, he looks so young. All right, enough. So that's what we want to do. We want to emancipate ourselves from this mental shackle. I call it mental slavery. None but ourselves can set us free. You can set yourself free only if you identify that you're not free. First, you got to identify that you're not free. Okay, meaning you're still waiting for mother's love. That means you're not free. Okay, then you can be free. If you're not aware that you're not free, then you're not free. Only when you. Okay, you got the idea. Oh, Julian was born out of wedlock outside of Bob's marriage. Oh, what a rascal. Oh, Bob Marley was married to Rita. Oh, he had a fling with Lucy. Oh my goodness. Oh, I see. So Bob Marley had a fling with Lucy in the Barbados. Oh my goodness. Okay. This Julian guy, he likes to work with people in the poverty area. Yeah, so he's maybe the people in the poverty area felt a little rejected. He wants to help them. Maybe he felt a little rejected because his mother, his father didn't marry his mother, so the mother felt a little rejected. Why didn't you leave Rita to marry me? I feel rejected. So maybe he picked up, oh, my mother's rejected. I feel rejected. Okay, got people in the ghetto. I'm going to sing for you. You all rejected. I feel rejected. My mother rejected. Okay, enough about this speculation here. All speculation. Okay, let's get into this this challenging topic here. I didn't think so. So yesterday I found a book called The Unconscious and the Law or something, and there are parts of it that are very crystal clear. I loved it, and I posted 2 quotes yesterday from it, and I thought they were pretty good. So I thought I'd follow up and do it again. So we'll post another 2 quotes from this book, and then just as I was, so we'll post 1, 2, 2. There it is. 2. So we'll post another. So there'll be 4 in total. I'm gonna leave it there at that. And then what disappointed me, which I felt I sunk inside a little bit. Oh my God! Now I know why she's a little kind of choppy and little. I thought she was a little quirky, a little confused, a little neurotic or something. You can tolerate that kind of thing. But no, she had a more willful agenda to. So she's one of the main, quote unquote, legalistic voices made up to please whoever. So she provided the legalese, this tricky legalese, which drives you nuts to try to read it. If you listen to her on YouTube, try to listen to her in the taxi on the way in. Oh, Snoozeville. Oh, no views. She's not really a good speaker. I'm into because she's not. She's lying. She's being too tricky or something. A little frustrating to try to listen to her. I can't follow her until I gave up on it. So then I found the music channel. Give me some music. So I don't know if this is directly because of her, but she's definitely a contributor because in the legal system, when they want to introduce the curriculum for the children in the school of all this LGBT stuff, they pulled her in as the top law professor of a top legal university thing, and gave you some legalese and said, oh no, it's illegal to deprive LGBT kids of the curriculum, so you gotta give it for them or something. And I thought, okay, wait a minute, hold the phone here. My first thought was, just like somebody, let's say somebody is from Greece and they didn't learn their native language and they go to school. Is he deprived because the school didn't teach everybody how to speak Greek or something, right? So that's something he'd go on the side. He'd go on Saturday morning, he'd go to the language school to learn. He's not deprived. You're not depriving him if you don't teach everybody his language or something. But she's using that, she's transferring that argument for them. I mean, for people with the LGBT thing. So now there's a bombardment of all the kids being exposed to all this. And that serves a broader umbrella agenda, which it's only speculation of what's going on about that. On the surface, they say it could be this or this or that. No, there's something more to it. So in her book, I glanced the part about her trying to justify and say some very perverted, disturbed, sick kind of things. Why do you say that? You know, maybe you why don't you apply other things and just transfer it there and fuse it in and say it's okay the way you say other things are okay? No, you can't. You're comparing apples and oranges. You can't do that. And she does a lot of this. She compares different things that don't apply. Just because the school curriculum doesn't teach everybody how to speak fill in the blank language. Let's say you had one guy from Swahili. Let's say you had one guy, Bob Marley, right? What it was? Oh, yeah, it's English, right? Let's say you had one guy from Africa in the school, and his parents didn't teach him Swahili. Is he deprived because this curriculum didn't teach the thousands of people in the school to make them all speak Swahili? Right? And her argument is, no, you're hurting him by not teaching him Swahili. You're hurting him. No, he's not hurt. He's not hurt. It's realistic. It's reality here. It's okay. You can learn on the side or something. She applies this logic. No, there may be a few kids in the LGBT kind of thing, so that means you got to bombard the tens of thousands of people with this language. This schools are not supposed to teach that anyways, right? Schools teach us some elementary biology later on or something. You're not supposed to expose little kindergarten kids to all this perversion, pornography kind of thing, right? Images. And she's saying, no, it's okay, you can do it. So the reason I say that because when I searched her name, What's her name again? Okay, I don't want to dig it up again. It's in there. I searched her name. The AI gave you like a summary about the legal thing about that. So under the guise of being kind of cute, here's what I don't like about her. Whatever little credit there still is from psychoanalysis, it's always under attack and people mock and all that. It's valuable, but it's under attack. That's why it's under attack. It's valuable, but most people kind of discount it now, right? Most people don't know it's been updated with object relations theory. Masterson. No, people haven't heard of Masterson. Althea Horner, Rinsley and Grossteiner, Ogden. There have been advances in object relations theory, and it's not the old stuff. It's the more modern relational thing, like recreating the present to know the past. What we talk about here, repetition, compulsion, things like that. So people are not really fully aware of it, right? So as it is, most people have there's a little credibility left, but this people have been told to ignore it or something. What I feel like she's doing, she took the little bit of credibility, psychoanalysis, intellectual, unknown, but supposed to know something, but we don't know. She took that little credit, the remaining credit of psychoanalysis, right? She took it to twist it and blend it in with the LGBT propaganda campaign. Okay, so she's taken perverted translations of ancient Freud and used it in a legalistic, tricky, double flip-flop. Oh my God, you get a headache. So you read something from left field is pulled in. What the hell is a relevant? Then you got to argue that as a straw man. Oh, she's very good at straw man. She brings in all these straw men. You get all excited about the straw man, distracting you from the broader agenda because you're caught up with the straw man. This woman would be a master of propaganda, a scriptwriter or something, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe she's not good at it or something. But maybe she's a wannabe propaganda scriptwriter. Blend in psychoanalysis and legalese, and blend it in for the overarching agenda. That kind of. So, like a lot of books, I don't want to pick on her. A lot of authors do this. With a lot of authors, a lot of authors. Okay, I just try to find the little bit that's kind of clear in a self-contained manner and pluck it out and discard the rest, because the author took the good part to. Okay, the motto is the best way to tell a lie is to include a few crumbs of truth in it. So an author will take a few crumbs of truth, okay, and then to tell an elaborate lie. When I read these books, I don't care about your dumb lie, but I'll reclaim back, I'll save and salvage the little crumb of truth used to deceive. I want to save it and for something positive, because I want to take the positives for the positive. You took the positive, twisted to sell the negative. So I want to save the positive kind of thing. So when I read these books, I pluck out the positive part and discard the rubbish agenda. That's very common all throughout these 6 years. So the quotes here, a lot of quotes come from things like that. 99% of the book I discard, but there's one little thing in there that he used to allure you or something. Oh, let me just save that part, forget the rest kind of thing. So she's doing the same thing. She's doing the exact same thing, which surprised me, because yesterday I thought, oh, this is great. I found a good book. And then this morning I found two more. Good book. And then just at the end, coming out, I sunk. I go, oh God, no, please. I checked on YouTube. Okay, let me look further. Let me hear her speak. And oh God, yeah, no way. Yes, she looks professional and polite and pleasant in her demeanor and all that. And she looks like a professor kind of. She has the package of looking like a professor. But if you listen carefully, okay, whoa, you'll get sick. You'll get sick. I felt uncomfortable. I felt kind of personally. in a tricky legalese manner. She's trying to justify some perversions being okay. And you know, that book of hers won some award from some made-up thing that gave her an award to give her credibility like that. And looked up, okay, who gave her this award? What other awards are you giving it to? And sure enough, it's a similar kind of thing. If you write, if you sell perversion or something, you might get an award if you do it well. But no one's heard of that. I never heard of that award before. The only award that I find valuable is the Golden Windmills of the Mind Award. There are 24 recipients so far. Mel Faber is the most recent recipient of the Golden Windmills of the Mind Award. Mel D. Faber, his trilogy, The Psychological Roots of Religious Belief, Religion, the Infantilizing Process, and New Age Thinking as a Bundle. Paul Gray's book, Ego and Analysis of Defense. Laughlin's 2 books, Mental Mechanisms and The Neuroses, those 2. Karen Horney's book, Our Inner Conflicts, right? Masters is one of our mentors, so he's everything about it. What else? Roy Lichtenstein's painting called Stepping Out. I mean the painting, just the painting. It shows you the 2 worlds, conscious, unconscious. Robert Bly's audio, all of his audio from the psychological point, minus the poetry. All of Robert Bly minus all the poetry stuff, all the other stuff. Okay, the psychological interpretations, the fairy tales, his tape series on shame and the shadow and only projections, all that audio by Robert Bly has won a Golden Windmills of the Mind Award. Now this book, is very legal. If a lawyer, put it this way, if a skillful lawyer were to use the language of psychoanalysis and blend it together, that's what you're getting, like a double confusion. But she makes parts of it clear. Anyways, so I'm gonna leave it there. That's my this woman has a huge blind spot, or not. If she's aware of what she's doing, then it's not a blind spot. Sometimes maybe she really has a deeper issue. Okay, oh boy. Should we do this? 3271. So there's a discussion or quote-unquote debate between, of course, the legal world ignores unconscious motivation, why he did it from an unconscious point of view. They can't look into that. They want to be willfully blind to that. They have to be willfully blind for social order. You can't let people do things just because their puppet master within them told to do it. And if you go by that, then what the hell, right? On the other side, psychoanalysis is saying, hey, people are driven by traumatic scripts. At least identify that. Have some human understanding. And they say, well, we can't be bothered with that. And well, why not? Why don't you have some human understanding? And it's this human understanding angle that she's pulling in to make perverted things that would normally be illegal, she's trying to make illegal. Like she's trying to make certain things that are currently repugnant and repulsive, she's trying to argue that it could be legal, right? Because her upline, they have a lot of incest in their families, right? Like a lot of these wealthy of the wealthy. They say it openly. They say it openly. You know, oh yeah, well, we want to make sure the wealth stays within our family, so, you know, he might marry his, I don't know, his. They all intermingle in their family, like they all marry each other, some sicko kind of thing. And she's trying to argue, don't be disgusted. Let me use some psychoanalysis and legalese to make you think, to not be so disgusted that this guy married his, I don't know. I can't even think of it, right? Like somebody in his direct family. And she talked about a case where that happened, and the judge was enraged, and she was enraged at the judge, and she was criticizing the judge, but everybody was on the judge's side. You can't do this kind of thing. This is disturbing. Oh, wait a minute, but in the dream world, no, but that's the dream world. That's different. These are symbolic imageries of the dream world. It's not, you don't take it literally, but she wants to twist it and say, well, I'm going to pretend it's there as literal, not symbolic. So she removes the symbol to argue it's literal. So in the dream world, if your sense of self and your sense of mother are still fused, okay, it's psychological incest, they say, but it's not an actual physical. It's not a physical. So in the fairy tale, they say they married the son, the Oedipus, and the mother, Jocasta, are married. It doesn't mean literally it's okay that they got married. Right? Well, see how we talk about this? It's so ubiquitous, Oedipus story. So what are you complaining about? No. In the myths and fairy tales are metaphors for the primary mentation, something which he knows about in the dream world. So when you say that the oneness, the baby and the mother are fused and symbiotic, merge, okay, in regular development they separate and he goes his way kind of thing. If there's too much pain, he's stuck there. That means the mother may have wanted that. So if anything, the mother wanted to use the child. That means the child emotionally in his memory can't leave the mother. So in the fairy tale, they'd say they're married. But it's not literally married. It just means the sense of self is still fused with the mother impression, and they're kind of quote-unquote married inside. They're not married. They're just still in that state of self-object fusion, undifferentiation, non-differentiation. It's too confusing to say, to concretize or literalize, and that's what she would do. She would literalize to the public. Hey, public, I know you literalize things. You see, I know you. She knows it's civil, but she knows other people concretize things. She takes people's confusion and uses it against them to sell a perverted thing. So now she's saying, yeah, you're familiar with the story, that Oedipus story, right? So what's the big deal or something? Because she's providing, she wants to maybe help create a better image or a better name for the superiors up there, right? Who intermingle and marry amongst themselves like that. Oh no, it's just, why are you so freaked out by that? Why are you so freaked out by that? You see in the story, you see we have the story, right? But again, she's doing a flip trick. That story is just metaphor in the inner world, that the sense of self is still quote-unquote married or fused. It's called psychological incest. So she takes like invisible memories of oneness, okay, memories of oneness, which is only appropriate for that kind of time. You don't say they're married or something. You don't say it's okay for people to engage in that kind of thing. But she wants to say, look, they do engage in it, and they're sick and all that, and you think badly about that. I want you to think good about them. So she's trying to sell these disturbed things as being normal somehow. She's doing it legalese, tricky, legal, tricky kind of thing. Yeah, I hope she doesn't see this video. Like, so, opinion. It's an opinion, right? I'm a comment, and I say it's just my opinion. I haven't even read the whole book, to tell you the truth. I kind of gave up. The overarching appeal is she wants to say, I want to humanize I want to make more human, the legal thing. Understand each other more. So she sells it in that kind of way. And you can't argue with that, right? But that's not really what's going on, right? That's the second time an author kind of threw me off like that. About a year ago, I went on a bit of a rant on a similar kind of thing, I remember. Yeah, this is the second time that's happened. I guess I should just, maybe I shouldn't even do a video today, right? So that's the problem when something upsets me in the morning. I do a video, it kind of comes up. I don't have that much discipline. Another blooper. I've been making a lot of bloopers lately. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Lately I've been making more mistakes. Yesterday was yesterday was okay, yeah. Yesterday was okay, yeah. And the one before in the park here was okay, yeah. It's okay. Now today's I'm making some mistakes here. I could have probably said that in a more professional way or something. I'm not a journalist, I'm not a professional speaker. So if I were writing a review for this woman's book, I would just say, watch out. 1 star, 0 maybe. Well, 1 star for the 1 star. If that's the lowest, I'd give it a 1 star. Why? Because in my impression, she has a propaganda agenda to make intellectual people or something say or send a message. Don't complain if billionaire, Mr. Billionaire marries his sister and have kids and these kind of. Don't complain. Okay, maybe she's doing this. Maybe she's like sending signals in that area because they keep promoting her. She's the dean of this and the top of that and the head of that. And when the courts need a legal expert, they pull her in like that. So she's kind of like the go-to sales, PR sales or something. And she has that demeanor, she has that kind of a demeanor where, like, I don't think she'd be a good judge at all. I'm sorry, I don't think she'd be, although she's the dean of law or something, I don't think she'd be a good judge, personally. She might look the part. With the ropes, I can imagine she would look the part. But when you hear her speak in her seminars and all that, even the people interviewing her, they're getting frustrated and they're kind of like pretending she didn't say the strange thing and she's trying to clean it up for her and he's kind of like cover for her like that. So she's confused. She's or maybe she's just taken on too much. Maybe she's taken on too much. She's trying to master the legal world and trying to master psychoanalysis and bring it together. Maybe she's just overwhelmed with trying to bring these two things together. Maybe to give her on a positive side, maybe she's trying to genuinely see how the two can inform each other and help each other. But then hold the phone here. As I say that, wait a minute. Her campaign is to say it's okay for all little children to be exposed to LGBT curriculums and all that. That doesn't belong there, right? A little biology in high school should be enough, right? The way it is. And then now you got the theory about the more political theory above it, about controlling people. So it might be a means of making people unaware of themselves. Then they're easier to control. So there might be like a hierarchy kind of thing here. Her university has a negative reputation. Okay. Oh boy. the truth is, I just wanted to focus on this willful blindness. So she had a clever idea where she made up a fictional story. Well, first of all, let's say the wife, Rita, Bob Marley. Let's say Bob Marley, his wife was Rita. Let's say Rita kind of knows that Bob is having a fling with Lucy. And she could investigate, but she's kind of afraid. She kind of knows but doesn't know. She doesn't want to know. Willful blindness. She willfully doesn't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I smell perfume. I don't want to know. Do I see some hairs on? No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Is that lipstick on your thing there? No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So it's kind of there. It's kind of in her face. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Right? Willful blindness. So Rita might, for example, do willful. I'm not saying this is actually the case. I'm just making it up. Because of the song, because of the poster, because the son is one of Bob Marley's son is going to perform. Okay, willful. Okay, let's just say it in general. Let's say a woman senses all sorts of clues that her husband's having an affair. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. No, blind eye, head ostrich, head in the sand. No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Willful blindness. Okay, so that's one example, right? She made a fictional example of a lady who's driving the car and something's wrong. In the car are her mother and the aunt. Is that right? The sister. Oh, okay, the mother and her sister. Is that right? So you got this woman driving the car and something strange going on. Is her mother and auntie a criminal? Are they doing some kind of criminal thing? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Now, she could investigate. There's all sorts of clues. The car had all these smells and suspicious little things here and there, here and there. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. This is my mother. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Loyalty. I don't want to fight with my mother. Is she really? I don't want to know. Is my mother doing some illegal thing? I don't want to know. Willful blindness. All right, willful blindness. Now let's say the three of them get caught. What about the driver, the daughter? Is she, what's the crime on her end? Her willful blindness, is she part of the crime? Where she kind of knew something wrong was going on, but she didn't want to know, so she didn't really know, but she kind of knew, but she failed to find out. Should she be punished, or what's the story with her? So this confusion is called willful blindness. And her argument is that the whole law profession is doing the same thing with psychoanalysis. They're being willfully blind to the world of psychoanalysis, that people have unconscious puppet masters making them do stuff. The legal profession says, I don't want to know, I don't want to know, I don't want to know, I don't want. So the legal world is doing the same thing. The legal world is doing the same thing, like the woman not wanting to know that her husband is most likely having an affair. The legal profession says, we don't want to know, we don't want to know. Criminal law engages in its own form of willful blindness. In this case, blindness to the irrefutable evidence of unconscious life. We don't want to know. We don't want to know. It exists. It is really there. There really is such a thing as your past and your experiences and your traumas influencing you in the present. We don't want to know. I don't want to know. A psychoanalyst would say that law's presumption of free will functions as a motivational disavowal of the realm of meaning lying just beneath the surface. So a lot of people say, no, everybody's got free will. Everybody chooses what they chose. It was their free will. They chose it. They chose it. They chose it. Okay. I don't want to know that something unconscious made them do it. I don't want to know willful blindness. I don't want to know. The presumption of free will operates to repress the truth of unconscious life. So the big old debate, how much of what you do is free will? How much of what you do is by your unconscious puppet master? Despite decades of clinical evidence for the existence of the unconscious, despite the everyday experience of its effects, the legal world says, I don't want to know. You don't want to know. Not cool. At first blush, the reason for their blindness, okay, we might say, seems to emanate from the same dynamic fueling the conflict thesis, i.e., that the unconscious is incompatible with law's need to hold individuals accountable for their behavior. Okay, so just like the woman wants to keep the family intact, wants to keep the marriage for the kids. I don't want to know, I don't want to know, I don't want to know if he's having an affair. I want to keep the family together. I want the kids to go to school. I don't want to know if he's having a fling with the secretary. I don't want to know, I don't. The same thing, the legal world is saying, we gotta have this free will belief. We gotta just say that people chose it freely. They have free will. They know what they're doing. They freely chose it, and we don't want to know. Otherwise, all these problems. Just like the woman would have problems if the home broke up or something. So just as the wife, the jilted wife, wants to keep the family together, analogously, she argues, the legal profession says we don't want to know this deeper psychology because we got to keep things in order, which you can't argue, you know. So she opens up kind of in that area, in this manner. Okay, once again, she's building up to, she's scaffolding these kind of things. She has other kind of parallels. She's scaffolding it, and ultimately, it's to sell the okayness of LGBT pornography in this curriculum for the kids, and that's what she's trying to lead up to. She's very, very skillful like that. I can't write. Okay, let's go back here. Yeah, I'm still triggered by this guy. Psychoanalysis is meant to help and heal and cure and feel and heal. It's not meant to be twisted in a cynical way to sell something worse, right? Psychoanalysis is meant to be something to heal people. Here she is taking it to hurt people. Do no harm, right? Well, I'm not a doctor, I'm a lawyer. We lawyers do harm. So there you go. So she's not a medical doctor. Yeah, she's not a medical doctor. If she were a medical doctor, she's violating her oath, right? Where are we here? We presume free will in order to maintain a criminal justice system that holds people, however blind to their motives, however blind to their own motives, okay, morally and legally accountable for their behavior. All right. So there was a debate between one shrink and one lawyer long ago. Long ago, Franz Alexander, the shrink, and a lawyer named Hugo Staud argued that the presumption of free will is merely a tactical justification. It's a tactical justification. So what? Is there free will or not? We'll just say it's their free will as a tactical. It's a thought-provoking book. It's a very triggering. A lot of these things are triggering. Her colleague wrote a glowing review for this. She said she found it helpful and all this. So I only found the one review for it. Yet our rush to conclude that the unconscious is incompatible with the notion of free will is misguided. Okay, here she's now she's blurring things up here. Upon closer, oh, hang on, my phone's beeping. Seriously? 20%, look at that, eh? My phone is giving me less than 2 hours. I gotta turn this off now. Oh, so I gotta use the battery from the fan. One second. Okay, I gotta keep. If my phone shuts out due to a lack of battery, I lose the whole video. Hopefully now it's okay. Look at that, the fan's still working. All right. You know, it's hot, but I'm not feeling it for some reason. Maybe the weather report isn't. You know, it did rain last night, so maybe that helped a lot, right? Yeah. All right. Upon closer inspection, my mind is thinking, should I delete this video? I feel a little badly for being too critical. I don't really know this lady. I don't know her well enough, and I feel unfair the way I impulsively. I just don't know. I honestly don't know and have enough understanding about the LGBT world. Why there's such a intense emotions around this topic. I just don't get it really. So she's a huge advocate for the whole LGBT rights and all that, this kind of thing. See, nobody minds it, just keep it private, but for the past 20 years, every few minutes there's an LGBT referencing thrown in your, like every ad that pops up on my phone, like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, there's an ad that pops up. Most of them have a subliminal LGBT pornography kind of image, and it's even in the subway, in the mall, and there, and here, and everywhere. It's just all over the place. All the songs in the mall are from LGBT singers. Like, what's this? The only one exception is the Donna Summer song. Oh, there's two exceptions. The I've Never Been to Me, the song I've Never Been to Me by Charlene, yeah. So there's only 2 songs in the mall sung by non-LGBT. There's a real overemphasis, an over-pushing, an over-demand on this kind of thing. So I just kind of recently felt there's something more going on. Like, what's really going on with this? And one theory is, and there's a theory about it which I discussed previously, and to be updated, question mark, to be updated. So I'm kind of carrying, so this is kind of tapping into this area. So that's my apology. That's a partial apology. If I was too hard on this author here. But parts of the book are good. I like parts of this book. So we now have 4 quotes from this book, and we're still in the middle of quote number 3 here. The first 2 were done yesterday. Okay, so she says here, keep in mind that in the unconscious, there's 3 core areas, 3 things to consider. The one is called the puppet master, called determinism. Number 2, the irrationality of the unconscious. Number 3, it's all coded or opaque. Any one of these 3 features would appear to rule out so if you're going to be a fundamentalist, if you're going to be an extreme shrink, and even Freud is not that extreme, but if theoretically, if you were to find the most extreme of the most extreme of the most extreme to the nth degree shrink, they would say, well, the puppet master made him do it, so no one's really guilty. You got to heal them and cure them and make them responsible, but you can't say that the conscious person of them is guilty, because there is no conscious ego, there is no conscious mind, other than how they know how to drive a car and pay the bills. So there's no other kind of moral conscious, like they're not aware or something. So but that's too far, right? So even Freud doesn't go that far. And that's called the determinism idea. So she says here, hold the phone here. Is there some way the 2 sides can learn from each other? Is there room for reconciliation between law's presumption of everybody having free will and the psychoanalytic model that most people don't really have that much free will, not as much as they think they have, that most of what they do is unknown to them? Can we find some way to inform each other somehow? Okay. So now quote number 4, it's on this determinism idea. So I've plucked out the more positive side of it. I've skipped the negative side of it. While we are products of our needs, babies have needs, so we're products of the need for mother's love, and we're products of our experiences, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to live your whole life as a neurotic or being dysfunctional. You don't have to necessarily be fated to unfold in some kind of predestined way. You can emancipate yourself from your traumatic script. Okay, Gabe's story, Twilight Zone. What psychoanalysis shows us is that people can, through effort, alter the course of their lives. Freud's theory of the reasoning ego, okay, the rational, like the adult mind, the conscious mind, your aware ego, the reasoning ego, reality ego, okay, the more cognitive, self-reflective part of ourselves. Okay, so this theory of this reasoning ego, his theory of this ego makes a lot of room for individual agency. At points in his writing, he described the ego as the site of agency and therapy as the way to foster it. His famous pronouncement, where it was, ego shall be, where it was, ego shall be, is a homage to the development of some meaningful measure of agency. And we added it to, the more you build the ego, the more you can accept from the id, the more you can reclaim and assimilate what you didn't know about yourself, the more of the conscious awareness you are. So the more you build your ability to be aware, the more your id will fuel you and nourish you and make you be you, like fully, like complete you, and healed you and assimilated you, and healing and wholeness you. The more you build the nest, the more the energy comes into your, it's freed up for you. But your energy is freed of the shackles of the traumatic script. The more you're conscious, the more the energy can leave there and come to the present. So where it was, ego shall be, okay, ego shall be, that means the energy, the elementary basis of the unconscious, the energy, the unconscious, the life force can be for the present if you build your ego, enhance the ego, restore the ego. Okay. Once again, psychoanalysis, ego is your conscious, aware mind, the positive mind. We don't mean it like the context tells you. If somebody say he's an egotist, he's an egomaniac, we mean narcissism. We don't mean that. The ego is just like a healthy mind ego. So we want to repair the ego. The more ego you have, the more energy from your unconscious, the more access you the conscious adult you has for your life, kind of thing. Freud never lost faith in the power of the person to turn neurotic suffering into ordinary unhappiness. Oh, okay. I'm an ordinary man. Yesterday, ordinary man. So I don't know which translation she's referring to, but as psychoanalysts now explain, quote, all treatment seeks to increase the client's sense of agency in terms of an increased capacity for choice. Clients often come into analysis paralyzed by their neuroses, unable to do much more than respond passively to the world and to inner forces. So going through the motions of life, something's the puppet master idea. You don't have to spend your whole life being driven by your own puppet master, i.e. your traumatic script, hoping to save your mother, be loyal, self-defeating, to maintain the tie because mother hurt you. And if mother hurt you, you can't be yourself. So you self-punish to be tied, and you cannot be autonomous because that's breaking the tie. That's being disloyal. You can't be disloyal to your mother because you still need her love. So to have the hope for her love, you self-defeat because originally you believed you were guilty when she didn't love you, and you're punishing yourself to maintain the tie. You don't have to do this. So you're paralyzed by neurotic hope to one day mother will love you. Therapy intervenes to overcome the seemingly fated trajectory of this. Just shine a lantern on it, need a thread. It brings into focus the essential connection between personal agency and the process of self-examination. Yeah, to her credit, one thing she said that I liked is that the whole school system should teach self-awareness. I've been saying all along, the comic psychoanalysis should be part of the curriculum. The comic psychoanalysis, 1955 comic. Okay. 6 years ago, it got reissued by Dark Horse Publishing. Now the complete run is available in hardback and digital. That's a mandatory. It's the best one. Oh, that has won a golden win. Oh, I forgot about that. One of the recipients of a golden Windmills of the Mind Award is that comic. 4 issues were put out in that 1 year, and it's now been bundled up to complete run. So the whole thing basically represents 12 therapy sessions put into comic book format using 3 clients, Freddie, Ellen, and Mark. And in that manner, they teach you a lot about psychoanalysis. You'll get a quick crash course on what this is all about, simply from this comic. They did an incredible job. It's still, to this day, in my humble opinion, the best introduction. It was banned for decades, or lost for decades, and finally, 6 years ago, it got saved. Dark Horse Publishing. In the search box, just type in psychoanalysis. Hopefully it's still around, my goodness. I had the hardback for a while, and some of the quotes from it are in our collection here. It is through some measure of self-reflection that the individual intervenes in the mind's causal trajectory and becomes an agent of his own life. Okay, so the original theory was if if the therapist makes you aware, you take that awareness and you that helps. But some people, it doesn't work. So now you gotta make the awareness via what's happening in the here and now between the two, how he's recreating in the present the past. He's got a pattern. He learned it in the past, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. In the context of the experience, lived experience, seeing it, then he's aware of it. Rather than just somebody telling it to you, you're aware of it while you're doing it. So that's the update. Self-reflection involves quote-unquote splitting within the mind. I don't know why she says it like that. Between the observing self and the observed parts of the self. So you got your observing mind or your observing self and your experiencing self. So you are experiencing, and there's a part of you that observes what you're experiencing. So there's two like that. You want to build that observing mind rather than just experience and have no observation of it. That's why people with narcissism are enraged. If you want to help them observe, they don't want to observe it. The willful ignorance, what's it called again? Willful blindness. So narcissists deeply are aggressively engaged in willful blindness. They don't want to. Okay. A more traditional analyst facilitates this process of self-reflection through interpretation. So that's the original one, right? In the view of many analysts, interpretation stimulates an increasing sense of control or agency over one's life. Interpretation moves the person to break free from unconscious habits. Similar idea. Unconscious habits, personal constructs, psychic constructs, traumatic scripts, imprints, unconscious habits. Yeah, the children's have a joke. Why is it so hard to get rid of a habit? Well, if you take away the H, you still have a bit. Take away the A, you still have a bit. Take away the B, you still have it. That's all. Interpretation stimulates the person to be curious, to wonder about himself, to open up the space for new ways of thinking and acting. Curiosity about oneself emerges within the transference, like what's happening in the here and now between the two. The development of a sense of agency is fueled by strong feelings for and about the analyst. So sometimes you're motivated to know what's going on because you're in a relationship with the person in the present called transference. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, I'm really involved here. I'm really living the past and the present. Now I'm curious. I'm now having a chance to know the past because I'm recreating it here. And that's like motivates you a little bit. And he's helping you to be aware of it like that. So curiosity is promoted if you're aware that you keep doing this over and over again. Santiana. Now they work together as a team to understand the person. So now they're co-detectives. So they're motivated. That's called the working alliance, therapy alliance, therapeutic alliance. The two of them working together to understand the client's script. Freud developed a treatment that stimulates the individual's desire to wonder about, understand, and ultimately control unconscious forces. So the image is several images. The horse rider, the guy riding the horse. So the horse cooperates with the rider, they get along. The boy riding the buffalo, water buffalo, he plays the flute, they get along. One image for this. Okay, desires combined with reason, transference with interpretation, etc. These types of things initiate self-reflection and change. In many contemporary psychoanalytic treatments, interpretation focuses on how the person's unconscious wishes and needs get played out in the present, in the relationship. That's what we just said, right? Change is understood to happen as the person comes to see his or her maladaptive, neurotic, dysfunctional, maladaptive ways of relating to the analyst, and as a consequence to other people in the world. So usually what he's doing with the therapist, generally speaking, that's the pattern of what he does with everybody. It's just like a sample kind of thing. Our capacity for self-examination opens the door to some meaningful measure of choice. Our capacity for self-examination opens the door to some meaningful measure of choice, freed from the shackles of unconscious forces. Bob Marley, once again. I wonder if the son plays that song. If he plays Bob. I wonder if the son plays his father's songs. Oh, that'd be good. Why? He should do that. Oh, I wonder if the... Oh, is he alive? Oh my God, it is the father. He is the son of him, so why couldn't he do it? Unless the wife, the legal wife, said, no, you can't. Oh my God. Altering the course of life through seasoned self-reflection. The expansion of our capacity to be consciously acting agents in the world often emerges in the aftermath, i.e. when we stop in the name when we stop, played Diana Ross. She's still around, huh? She's still singing. I just saw her say, thank you. Her latest single is called Thank You. Very good song, Thank You. She has a song at the end of her life called Thank You, Everybody, Thank You. This little song. Stop. And you ask yourself, why do I keep doing this? Or some version of it, some variation of it, something in that area. We become self-reflective agents the moment we become curious about knowing our inner lives. I want to be curious about the script that's making me do stuff over and over again. When will you be curious? Okay, that's famously called look in the mirror, man in the mirror. You want things better normally in the world? Well, start with the man in the mirror. Be curious and look at the man in the mirror. And why is that man in the mirror doing what he's doing? Why is he doing the same thing over? Look at him and that's yourself. And why am I doing these things over and over again? Now you begin the journey of self-introspection, self-reflection, self-knowledge. Know thyself, right? Heal thyself, know thyself, understand thyself. As part of nature, you're cooperating with nature when you look in the mirror. You're cooperating. Nature wants you to look in the mirror. Maybe we can even bore that narcissist myth. No, that's a different story. No, that's totally different. Narcissist sees his reflection. That just means the symbiosis. He's waiting for mother to appear. Mother never appeared to see him. He's frozen, stuck, frozen, in love with himself because the mother and him are one. He's still in the blissful thing. He's addicted, right? Mother never appeared. He never saw mother seeing him to allow him to differentiate, so he's stuck there waiting. This is in the inner life of the fusion, and that makes him become a narcissistic person, sensitive, doesn't care about others. So you could say Echo, one version is just other people he ignores, or Echo is the personification of his disembodied soul. His feeling self, the princess, Miss Echo, disembodied. Echo disassociates, ignores his own soul. She turns to a statue. So the person's soul became a statue in the forest. When the story ended, Echo became a statue. he became the little white flower that gives people delusion. Narcissus flower, Narcissus. So it's a very good story, actually. Really, really great story, Narcissus. A major thread in our collection, the narcissistic personality pattern. Oh, the fan ended it. Let me have like 5 seconds. 1, 2, whatever. Actually, to my surprise, let me check the weather. Do you mind if I check? Can I just check the weather? What's the weather right now? Hold on a second. It's 5:10, right where I am. Let's go to AccuWeather. Are they the best ones to go with? I don't even know. Who's the best weather? Hourly. Oh, it's showing me 6 o'clock. Oh, what about now? What about right now? Well, in an hour's time, it'll be down to 32, but the feel real will be 37. So let's say it's now 35. The feel real would be about 38 or something. Let's try another one. Hang on a second. I'm caught now. Oops. Oh. Okay, so this one says 34, feels like 41. Look at the different, look at the variations, eh? This one says, the automatic one that pops up says 34, cloudy. It's not, yeah, no, it's not really that cloudy. No, it's not that cloudy. A little bit, partial clouds. Excessive heat, feels like 41. I don't think so. I think the other one's better. Feels like 30. It feels like it's under 40. This says no, it feels like it's over 40. Well, to me, it feels like it's under 40. What are we doing here? Okay, let me let the iPhone read this out. I wish I can go back and redo my my review. Okay, let me do something positive. Let me preview a part of somebody's review of her book. This is just a part of it. She has one person did a very lengthy review of her book. I just skimmed it quickly. So here's a part of it. This book, the author of this book argues that psychoanalysis can provide enriching insights about the obvious fact that we often do not behave rationally. Yesterday was a little bit of the irrationality, obliqueness, and okay, those are. So psychoanalysis can give us insights about the obvious fact. It's obvious. Okay, go to the Nashville show. The woman was a billionaire. She goes to the cosmetic section of the department store and nicks girly things, lipsticks and creams and powders, because she associates. Wouldn't have been nice if she was missing the mother-daughter cosmetic routine, where the mother teaches the daughter how to put on her makeup. So that was all missing. Mother never did that. Mother never touched me. No smoothness, no touch, no caress, no combing. So she would steal combs and creams and lipsticks, kiss. She would do these things. Not rational. She could buy the department store for Pete's sake. She was a billionaire. But she felt she had the unconscious childish wish for mother's caress, touch, soothing, interaction. So she tried to symbolically get him by stealing these cosmetic things in the department store. She didn't want to pay because children are not supposed to pay for mother's love. She goes to the store, symbolic mother. I don't have to pay. I'm entitled to it. It owes me. Mother owes me, so the store owes me. It's not rational to think the store is your mother. It's not rational, but the irrationality co-opts the brain, makes an excuse. She, driven by the puppet master, mother, give me your touch. Comb my hair, mother. Be nice to me. Touch me softly. Be there with me. Come on, mother, I demand it. So it's irrational to come from this childish, unmet need. The department store isn't your mother in the nursery. It's the present. It's not in the past. Irrational. So why is she doing this? She could, logically, she could just buy the stuff. No. The emotionality is she shouldn't have to pay for mother's stuff. So she goes to the store. I don't have to pay. I demand mother to give me. So she grabs it in an angry, aggressive, give it to me, mother. So she steals it, like violates the rules. She give it to me. So she's a criminal, right? So this is what we're talking about. This kind of thing. Psychoanalysis can provide insights about the obvious fact that we do not behave rationally. She had a whole section about some people have a huge guilty mind, like a guilty complex. They didn't do anything wrong, but they always feel guilty. And under pressure, they can confess to anything because they just emotionally feel guilty to their mother. So one story was it was a misunderstanding, and somebody braided him, and he said, "Oh yeah, I guess I'm guilty." "You're guilty?" "Oh yeah, I'm guilty." He was thinking about his mother to his mother, but he didn't care anymore, and he was charged. So what do you do? So here you got an innocent man who just said he's guilty because of his emotions from his unconscious, who makes him feel he's always guilty, he's always responsible, he's always guilty. But the legal says, no, he's got free will. And it's normal for people to have a self-protective instinct. And he did in the beginning. He's, no, I didn't do the thing. And they braided him. "Oh, really? Oh, yeah." So some poor schmuck, some poor guy that ended up confessing to a crime he didn't commit, right? So he had a huge guilty complex, and it was so strong, he didn't even have the sense of personal self to say he didn't do it or something. Now this was due to the coercion by the interviewers. This was due to the tactics used by the interviewers and all this. So the judge ruled it, caught it. Luckily, the judge caught it. Well, those tactics are not fair. It warps people when you do that stuff. So I can't rely on that. So although the guy confessed, there was no evidence that he did it. So things like that. So you had a section about that. Law typically wants to assume contrary to obvious evidence that we do. Again, psychoanalysis can provide insights about the fact that we often do not behave rationally. Law wants us to assume that we do behave rationally. Well, no, you're rational. You chose it. That was your rational choice. You did it. Don't tell me about your unconscious telling you to do this. Otherwise, there'd be chaos and all that. So where's the balance? Where's the balance, right? Some shrinks say most neurotics never have free will. Everything they do is neurotic. Everything they do is from the puppet master. They have zero free will. And you're going to say they're guilty? They didn't, and you say they. So the law says you have free will. Shrinks say most people don't have free will. So that's what he said. The earlier quote said. It's just a legalistic terminology trick to. We're confused here. You see, if we're healed, if everybody's healed, right, then there'd be no crime, right? All crime is the demand for mother's love in the nursery. All crime, or most crime, let's say, is the demand, the aggressive demand and entitled demand and revenge, or demand for, or aggressiveness against, which is a demand for mother's love in the past. Redl compares it to the criminality as the source point being the baby's a helpless, little, passive, powerless, passive, no motor skills, and mother's hurting him. If you have that in your memory, then the adult body resource of your childish emotional puppet master, your baby puppet master, is pulling the adult strings. It's going to say, do something dramatic to get mother's attention. So his metaphor was, imagine a helpless mini dwarf trying to get the attention of the giantess in the nursery. What's he going to do? What does this baby dwarf have to do? He'd have to do something very, very dramatic. Okay, that translates to the criminality world. Not rational. The present, not the past. You're not in the nursery. Mother failed you. Identify that she failed you. Do the mourning process. Psychoanalysis is all about healing, right? Now, this book, overall, yes or no, I think. All right. I mean, that's a better way of saying it. Let me update it. Yes or no. Her book is a yes and no. Yes, parts of this book might be healing. I think maybe partly yes. It's so provocative and so it helps you to be in touch with your unconscious motivation. So it's healing in that way, right? And no, because I think it seems to be part of her employer's agenda to peddle what we said before. Let's not get it out again. Psychoanalysis shows that we access only some of our thoughts, and that needs and desires we only partly understand motivate us. Okay, yesterday about the Ginger Rogers, go to the film Lady in the Dark at the end there, where Ginger Rogers says, I can't believe my life's been governed by childhood fears. Not reasonable to be the most powerful woman in the one of the most powerful women in the world, right? She's a multi-billionaire, but she's really truly driven in her decisions by her unmet needs in the nursery from the mother. I can't believe it, she said. So maybe she's criminality in what she's doing, I don't know, but we wouldn't. But she has the money to hire the lawyers to provide cover, so she gets away. So she's not healing her. So wealthy people hire lawyers like this to provide cover, I guess. The plunder system is a huge criminality entity, right? Plundering the planet, destroying the planet for a quick buck. That's a huge criminality thing. But the lawyers give you all these legally tricky words to confuse people like that. Oh, it's okay, we're plundering the planet for a quick buck. We have it on the paper here. Somebody wrote on the paper. It's okay to destroy the planet for a quick buck. It's okay. Now, we don't say it so bluntly like that, like the way I'm saying it. It's said in a more double think way. I like this book here. The emotions that influence us arise from our first experiences in life as creatures dependent upon highly imperfect caregivers. The task of applying such insights to law does not involve condemning law as hopelessly out of sync with human nature, she argues, but achieving a better balance between, quote, serving the law's pragmatic need to govern and hold people accountable, unquote, on the one hand, and, quote, the importance of taking into account unconscious influences on decision-making and behavior on the other hand. Okay, so this is maybe a healthy angle on her end. She might be using healthy ideas to fool you, to sell a broader, like a Trojan horse kind of thing. So she might be, this book might be a bit of a Trojan horse. She's got some appealing things. Look at both sides. Law, it might be too blind to why people are doing what they're doing, so they don't care too much. I don't mean law like be neutral, I don't mean that. And psychoanalysis says most people aren't really guilty. Okay, play the song. I did it for love, Judge, Your Honor, Your Honor. I did it for love. So her example in that case was the prenup or something. Somebody signed it, but they got ripped off because the naive one, I did it for love, I believe them, I am so in love with them, I don't care. But they got cheated and they got nothing in the end. So the lawyer said, well, how do you deal with this kind of thing? Well, free will, they chose it. Well, come on. I did it for love. I signed the thing for love. I signed the prenup for love. Now I'm broke. Oh, come on, Judge. That was free will. No, I did it, Judge, Your Honor, I did it for love. Okay, I'm twisting the lyrics. The song's about, I don't even know what the song is about. Your Honor, whatever you're accusing me of, whatever I'm being charged of, I don't know. But whatever it is, I did it for love. I was looking for love. They don't specify what he did in the song. I did it for love. Your Honor. And that might be the best song to... Okay, we'll close up with that song. Harlequins. Another classic rock band named Harlequin. I think they're still around. I'm not sure. They could have... If they are around, that would have been a good band. They could have opened up for Triumph, the current Triumph. You know, Kenny Shields in his day, Street Heart opened up for major bands. Like Street Heart opened up for AC/DC in 1980. I saw the poster. Street Heart opened up for AC/DC. Wow, that's pretty good. All right. Street Heart, I mean Kenny Shields. When Kenny Shields was he's the original lead singer of Street Heart. We played many of his songs on it. So Street Heart's not around anymore. It's a miserable cover band. Miles Goodwin's not around. It's a miserable cover band. Prism Ron Tabak's not around. It's a miserable cover band. All right. So who's going to open up for the current version of Triumph, which is really just Rick Emmett? I was saying yesterday, so Gilmore lost his voice, right? And he wants help with the drumming. I think they should have had Mark Santers as the backup drummer. He's one of the best drummers. Now, Rick Santers could do the extra guitar. An excellent guitarist, Rick Santers. So you could have Rick Santers doing all the necessary backup guitar work for Rick Emmett. Rick Emmett does most of the singing anyways. Rick Santers can do the harmonies and all that. And you don't need to play these other, like Rocky Mountain Way and Rock and Roll, you know, some of these boring juvenile kind of songs. The way it is now, they have like a grunge look. They brought in three guys, and Gilmore himself do this grungy kind of look, and then Rick Emmett's the only one that looks kind of tidier. It's really the Rick Emmett show. So here's an alternative version. So the Santers band, the brothers, Rick and Mark, right? Rick Santers and Mark Santers. The bass guy passed away. What if the Santers bring in Alyona Yaroshina to do the high notes? So now you got the Santers band back. Blend in the Santers band, the rebooted Santers band, with Alyona Yaroshina. Hopefully she can play the bass. That's the problem. I don't know if she plays the bass or not. And then take the Santers band with her, with or without the bass, with Rick and Gilmore and Rick Emmett, those two, right? So you have the five there. Now, if Alyona Yarashina can play the bass, oh, it's perfect, right? Now, if she can't, okay, then find a quiet bass player in the background, or find another bass player in the background. Not some grungy. He's always mopping his. You got this guy with long, greasy hair, flopping it around, twirling it around all the time. And this looks so silly. He's trying to excite the audience or something. I don't know. He can't sing Gilmore songs anyways. It's a disaster. So let Rick Sanders sing some of Gilmore's songs, and Alyona Yarashina doing some of the high notes that Rick Emmett can't sing. And between the three of them, Rick Sanders, Rick Emmett, and Alyona Yarashina, and don't bother with the juvenile songs, the teenager songs. I mean, Rocky Mountain Way, Allied Forces, the other one, Never Surrender. Those kind of, I don't know. Bring back, Young Enough to Cry, Just a Game, Tears in the Rain. Bring back Tears in the Rain. I Can Survive Mine. Bring back some of the fun songs that they don't usually play, right? You keep the standards, lay it on the line. Fight the good fight, hold on. Magic power, I guess. The good thing they're doing in the current tour, so Triumphs, as we speak in this moment, they're in Moncton, British Columbia, Moncton, New Brunswick, sorry. As we speak, they're in Moncton. In a casino, I think, I'm not sure. They're on stage right now, right? So it's really as it is. It's really the Rick Emmett show, or Rick Emmett and Friends. Gilmore's mostly doing the glitzy lighting show in the background. It's okay. It's very bright, very high def. It's really clear. It kind of compensates because he lost his voice. He can't sing it, but he still does it anyways. And the songs that he can't sing, the floppy hair guy sings. So it's like a bad cover band. So Rick Emmett's holding the fort. Rick Emmett is holding the thing. It's really the Rick Emmett show. The bass guy's not even around anymore. Gilmore can't sing. And the drumming he needs help with. But he's sort of the leader of the band and all that, right? So. Rick Sanders and his brother, they were an excellent band called the Sanders Band. We have many of their songs. Mistreating Heart, Winter Freeze, The Rapper, Time After Time, the Dream, Ashes, what's the other one? Oh, Lovesick is a great song. They have a lot of great songs, the Sanders Band. They were a great band. Their bassist passed away recently. So if the Sanders brothers can replace the bassist, who can... the reason I pick Alyona Yarashina, because she does the best cover of Lay It on the Line. In fact, she's the only musician to do any cover of a Triumph song that's listenable. All the other cover songs that have been done of Triumph songs, just... it's not even an honorable mention. Forget it. Forget it. There is a tribute album of cover songs by well-known musicians. It's all unlistenable. I'm sorry. The most famous name on there is Nancy Wilson from Heart. She tried to do one of the songs. Forget it. Sorry, forget it. The rest is rubbish. Forget it. So that's why I think Alyona Yarashina should be brought in as to fill up, to reboot the Sanders Band. And the Sanders Band can back up, okay, Rick Emmett and Gilmore. And forget the three grungy characters in the background. You don't need those three. You don't need those three. They junk it. They make it look cheesy. They make it look. I don't know. It dilutes the positive, clean, positive image of Triumph those positive, inspirational songs, you know, it kind of dilutes it all. For some reason, Gilmore has this romance with the grungy look to rock and roll or something. He tried to grungify his band. And Rick Emmett's in an awkward situation. When he's on stage, he doesn't say it directly, but he says, I don't want to be here, but here I am, okay? You know what, guys, if you're confused about this, just focus on that these are positive songs, so let's focus on the songs. Don't focus on anything else, just focus on the songs, okay? Please. Rick Emmett's kind of balanced. He's doing a huge balancing act, Rick Emmett. Okay, let's read this part out also.
Other. Susan Carl referencing C. Daly.
Oh. Yes, sir. Okay, this is just part of the review of Daly's book here.
Daly argues that psychoanalysis can provide enriching insights about the obvious fact that we often do not behave rationally. Law typically wants to assume, contrary to observed evidence, that we do, but psychoanalysis shows that we access only some of our thoughts, and that needs and desires we only partly understand motivate us. The emotions that influence us arise from our first experiences in life as creatures dependent on highly imperfect caregivers. The task of applying such psychoanalytic insights to law does not involve condemning law as hopelessly out of sync with human nature, Daly argues, but achieving a better balance between serving the law's pragmatic need to govern and hold individuals accountable, on the one hand, and the importance of taking into account unconscious influences on decision-making and behavior, on the other. Susan Carl referencing C. Daly.
Hold on, okay, sorry. This is on, the speed is too high, right? Let's do that again. Is that the full volume? Oh my goodness, it's not too loud, is it?
Daly argues that psychoanalysis can provide enriching insights about the obvious fact that we often do not behave rationally. Law typically wants to assume, contrary to observed evidence, that we do, but psychoanalysis shows that we access only some of our thoughts, and that needs and desires we only partly understand motivate us. The emotions that influence us arise from our first experiences in life as creatures dependent on highly imperfect caregivers. The task of applying such psychoanalytic insights to law does not involve condemning law as hopelessly out of sync with human nature, Daly argues, but achieving a better balance between serving the law's pragmatic need to govern and hold individuals accountable, on the one hand, and the importance of taking into account unconscious influences on decision-making and behavior, on the other. Susan Carl referencing C. Daly.
So if we learn more about ourselves, there'll be less crime. Put it that way, in a nutshell, right? So, to her credit, she says the school curriculum should teach self-awareness. Then at the same time, she says, teach another thing that overpowers the possibility of self-awareness to deal with the overpowering thing she wants to teach or something. Should we play the quote here? 3271. Maybe I can let me speed it up a bit also. Let's try like that.
Criminal law engages in its own form of willful blindness, in this case blindness to the irrefutable evidence of unconscious life.
That's okay, right?
A psychoanalyst would say that law's presumption of free will functions as a motivated disavowal of the realm of being lying just beneath surface awareness. The presumption of free will operates to repress the truth of unconscious life. Despite decades of clinical evidence for the existence of the unconscious,
Okay, that's okay, right? Okay, I'm gonna let the iPhone read out today's preview of 3271 by Miss Daly here. Let's check the battery. Battery's holding it. Okay, let me unplug this and place it down somewhere here. Okay. Let's just do it here then, I guess. Here, let's just do it here.
All right.
Is this gonna work?
We presume free will in order to maintain a criminal justice system that holds people. Criminal law engages in its own form of willful blindness, in this case blindness to the irrefutable evidence of unconscious life. A psychoanalyst would say that law's presumption of free will functions as a motivated disavowal of the realm of meaning lying just beneath surface awareness. The presumption of free will operates to repress the truth of unconscious life. Despite decades of clinical evidence for the existence of the unconscious, despite the everyday experience of its effects, the law responds with, "I don't want to know." At first blush, the reason for law's blindness, the law's repressed motive, we might say, seems to emanate from the same dynamic fueling the conflict thesis, that the unconscious is incompatible with law's need to hold individuals accountable for their behavior. We presume free will in order to maintain a criminal justice system that holds people, however blind to their own motives, morally and legally accountable for their behavior. The psychoanalyst Franz Alexander and the lawyer Hugo Staub argued long ago that the presumption of free will is merely a tactical justification for holding people liable in light of the absence of conscious control over their own behavior. Yet our rush to conclude that the unconscious is incompatible with the notion of free will is misguided. Upon closer inspection, we discover that the conflict thesis seriously misapprehends the psychoanalytic unconscious and its role in psychic life. The psychoanalytic unconscious has three attributes: it is deterministic, it is irrational, and it is opaque to understanding. Any one of these three features would appear to rule out legal responsibility. But a closer look at the underlying conceptions of determinism, irrationality, and opacity of mind in psychoanalysis tells a different story. There is, in fact, room for a reconciliation between law's presumption of free will and the psychoanalytic model of the unconscious that opens up new ways of thinking about legal responsibility. While we are the products of our biological drives and early experiences, our lives are not necessarily fated to unfold in a predestined way. What psychoanalytic treatment indisputably shows us is that individuals can, through effort, alter the course of their lives. Freud's theory of the reasoning ego, the more cognitive, self-reflective part of ourselves, explicitly made room for the idea of individual agency. At points in his writing, Freud described the ego as the site of agency and psychoanalysis as the treatment designed to foster it. His famous pronouncement, "Where it was, their ego shall be," is an homage to the development of some meaningful measure, however restricted, of agency. He never lost faith in the power of the individual to turn neurotic suffering into ordinary unhappiness. As psychoanalysts now explain, ALL psychoanalytic treatment seeks to increase the patient's sense of agency in terms of an increased capacity for choice. Patients often come into analysis paralyzed by their neuroses, unable to do much more than respond passively to the world and to inner forces. Psychoanalytic treatment intervenes to overcome the seemingly fated trajectory of psychic anguish. Brings into focus the essential connection between personal agency and the process of self-examination. It is through some measure of self-reflection that the individual intervenes in the mind's causal trajectory and becomes an agent of his or her own life. Self-reflection involves a splitting within the psyche between the observing self and the observed parts of the self. A more traditional analyst facilitates this process of self-reflection through interpretation of the patient's words and actions. In the view of many analysts, including Freud, interpretation stimulates an increasing sense of control, of agency, over one's life. Interpretation moves the client to break free from unconscious habits of thought and behavior. Stimulates the patient to desire, to become curious about herself, to wonder, to open up the space for new ways of thinking and acting. Curiosity about oneself emerges with the transference. The development of a sense of agency is fueled by strong feelings for and about the analyst. More productively expresses itself in the desire to work with the analyst in the mutual project of understanding the patient's mind. Freud developed a clinical treatment that stimulates the individual's desire to wonder about, understand, and ultimately control unconscious forces. Desire combines with reason, transference with interpretation, to initiate self-reflection and bring about change. In many contemporary psychoanalytic treatments, interpretation focuses on how the patient's unconscious wishes and needs get played out in the relationship with the analyst. Change is understood to happen as the patient comes to see her maladaptive ways of relating to the analyst and, as a consequence, other people in the world. Our capacity for self-examination opens the door to some meaningful measure of choice freed from the shackles of unconscious forces. Altering the course of a life through reasoned self-reflection. The expansion of our capacity to be consciously acting agents in the world often emerges in the aftermath of action, when we stop to ask, why do I keep doing this? We become self-reflective agents the moment we become curious about knowing our inner lives. See Daily TQ 3271.
Submitted for your approval. consideration, should you choose to accept it, is to watch the legal drama show, TV show from the 70s, Judge for the Defense, boom, boom, Judge for the Defense, starring Carl Betts, the actor Carl Betts. He plays a lawyer, and he uses analytic insights in his own mind, understanding what's going on, the motivation. Now, they don't relate to the case being the guy's guilty or not. It's not direct like that, but it helps him to understand the thread that helps him to solve the case when he knows the motivation of people, right? But that doesn't. So there's an interesting kind of a show that is analytically minded, but never goes to the point where say, well, Judge, you know, he was angry at his mother. He wanted to tell everybody that. That's why he did these bad things. Okay, obviously, right? So the legal says, no, he did free will. He did it by free will. So that's the compromise. You can't go by the unconscious motivation and say it's okay, obviously. And you can't really perfectly say it was free will. But we say, well, he did it. He chose it. He's an adult. He chose it. He did it. Don't. Okay, willful. What's it called? Willful. What's that phrase again? Willful. What was it called again? Willful. Oh, blindness. Willful blindness. So there's a phrase called willful blindness. Okay, another. Yeah, check out the phrase willful blindness. The ostrich in the sand technique. Check that out. Okay, so Judge for the Defense. Okay, it's on YouTube. And unfortunately, not all of the episodes are available. That's really a pity, a huge pity. But there are a few good episodes on there. No DVD, tragedy. Someone's got to save that. I hope they can digitize, clean up, and get the DVD for the complete run. It ran for 2 seasons. Excellent show, man, oh man. And most of the episodes had an analytic underpinning. The script writers, there must have been some shrinks in the script writing or something. That's the most analytically minded legal drama that I've come across. Judge for the Defense. In the Drop Dead Diva show, there's a line in there. The law is the wisdom of the ages wrapped in the opinion of the moment. In the Harry's Law one of the lawyers had a midlife moment. He was a charming, narcissistic, fun kind of guy and all that. But his charm wasn't working anymore. He had a midlife moment. That moment where he asked himself, oh, I wonder what's worse. To realize you're no longer who you are, or that you still are what you've always been. Or that you still are what you've always been. Again? Oh, what's that? Okay, Harry's Law, Kathy Bates, right? Is that Kathy Bates, yeah. So her colleague was this humorous, a very humorous, but narcissistic, egocentric character, only cared about money and didn't care about your feelings and all that. Anyways, he one of his charming little, funny little things didn't work, and that was a moment for him. I wonder what's worse, to realize you're no longer who you are, or that you still are what you've always been. That's a great line, I thought. Okay, that's it. Okay, so look up willful blindness, check into that, and watch some Judge for the Defense. Boom, boom. The opening theme song has these bass drums. Boom, boom. Judge for the Defense. And we'll close it up with Harlequin's I did it for love. Judge, Your Honor, what can I say? Understand me? I did it for love. Oh, here's Rick Emmett. Oh, yeah, we talked about Rick. Oh, there he is there, Rick Emmett. Yeah, yesterday was Halifax, right? Yesterday was Halifax. And today it's Moncton, I think, or something. They're getting by. They're getting by with the dazzling light show. It's the most, a lot of nature, you know, like mountains, a lot of nature, 3D and little things. It's very, the memory of those good songs. Rick Emmett doing his thing. He's carrying the whole thing. And the rest is just sort of a background, bad cover band sounds like. I have no idea why they chose those three. I still think they should have brought in the Santos brothers and a lady who could sing the high notes. And that's it. And the bass. Hopefully she can play the bass too. All right. Enough about that. I'm a fan. I grew up with a great album is called Just a Game. Great. That's a great album, Just a Game. It's, Moving On. Starts with Moving On. Late on the Line. The main song, Just a Game. They never play that song, Just a Game. Somebody told them not to play it. Although it's the name of the album, right? Just a Game. Oh, Young Enough to Cry's on there. I quite like that song, Young Enough to Cry. A lot of great songs on that album. Okay, Your Honor, what can I say? It's like, I did it. Okay, when this song ends, I'll hit the stop button. Things are getting busier here. Oh, here it is. Here, yeah. Official audio. Okay, I'll play the official audio. Oh, I noticed other bands also have a song by that same title. Oh, here's another one. Let me play the non-official one. Let's see how does this sound. Let's see. Let me check. Hang on a sec. Let's try the live. They have a live album, something called the Live at the Q or something like that. Hang on a sec. Live Q, is that it? Hang on a sec. Oh, where is it? Extended version. I don't even know the guy's name. Oh, there's the lead. I don't even know his name. Bellinger or something. Oh, I Did It for Love. Oh, another one. Oh, hang on. Oh, Glenn Fry. Oh, Glenn Fry has a song called I Did It for Love. Oh, I didn't even know that. We play his song called Soul Searching. Very good song by Glenn. Not sure who she is. A very good song by the singer Glenn Fry called Soul Searching. I've been doing some soul searching. It's about the midlife. I've been doing some soul searching. Soul searching. Doing some soul searching. I'm doing some soul searching. It's a great song. Okay, I'll check it out later. I Did It for Love. Let's look for the. Where's the Harlequin one? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, live on cue. Oh, this is the album here. Live on cue.